Hey everyone. Um, Tonight is Tuesday, so another stack chart analyzing session. I introduced, I put a link to my Zoom, so I'm hosting this on Zoom also. So I post a link to my Zoom on my Facebook and Facebook groups live. So just in case anybody wants to come in and talk about anything, feel free to join those Zooms. Trying to do a little different setup. So using this, using it through Zoom so I can and also annotate on the screen. So this is, as you guys can see. All right. So let's begin. Oh, I think I hear somebody.
What's up, Keg?
Hey, Billy, can you join me?
Of course, brother, man. I was just chilling. I was like, oh, I've been working so hard. I was like, man, I gotta go check out my boy.
How's the market been treating you?
Bro, red, red, red. Only money making is Dogecoin. All those shit posts. I got been
Yeah.
lucky.
Yep. That's the case this week. But today took me by surprise though. You see this right here? If you have my if you see my screen.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Dang it, what did I do? I
Right.
got
Did it freeze?
no. I accidentally exited out of my
Oh.
I have it on my my tablet also. Oh, okay. So this right here, this support line took me
Yeah.
by surprise that they did respect that support line. And you see how like today's candle, right? Today's candle,
Yeah, that's a big wick.
yeah, big wick. So
Big
this
wick.
week, this is becoming a support area. I was actually expecting it to come down more. I was expecting it to almost come down to here, this level.
Right, right.
And
You're hoping that you respect that moving average.
yeah,
What's your
but
moving average day there?
that's the 50 moving
Okay,
average.
that's the 50. Okay.
Yeah, so I was almost expecting it to come down here, but today kind of took me by surprise. So I'm a little confused. I'm thinking it might be a fake out like this one here, from 4 days ago. You see
Right.
how, it giant swing to the upside just to die off again. And, I think it might do that because I don't see, especially if we're looking at the weekly and the monthly, we're so high up that I don't know if we're gonna be able to push anymore. And as we're
Okay.
going
Can
into
you
May,
hold on, Kat? Can you hold on a second?
yep,
Okay, I see your screen. So I see you have three screens. So your top one is your daily,
yep, this is
right? And
daily,
the bottom left is your
weekly,
weekly, and the one on your right is monthly.
yep, monthly.
Okay. All right. No, it's just because I like the way how you're removing that because on my Weeble account, I can't do that.
Hmm.
I like how you move the mouse and it was showing the other areas.
Yeah, so that gives me what that allows me to do is just to see in each where in each of
Right.
these it corresponds to, see how high it is.
Right. No. I like that because before, because it was hard. Because this season, all I'm saying is I see I have to do this manually.
Hmm.
Make sense? I have to open up screens and I have to study them. But here you can just click on it and it shows you everything, where exactly where you're pointing. Yeah, okay. And this one is Think or Swim.
Yep, think or swim. And
Okay.
to do that, you just synchronize the crosshairs, and then it allows you to.
Okay, let me see if I can
Uh,
find that on my Weeble if I have a synchronized crosshair.
yeah, that it's a big help because you get to see where our levels are within the
Yes.
daily, weekly, and monthly, and you get to see when I say this is really extended, and why I say extended because if you look at the daily, it's keeping up with the form, but if you look at the monthly, you're like, whoa, we haven't pre-chased in a long time. you know.
Right. I mean, if you believe it, I mean, look at the first green candle after that
Mhm.
first dip. No, keep going. No, left, left, all the way left, all the way left, left.
This
No, no,
w- right here.
right at right there. Yeah. You know what I've been studying, Ken?
Mm-hmm.
I've been studying about watching for the first Green Day candle,
Mm-hmm.
and I've seen the pattern here. You see the pattern?
Yeah, the reversal here.
Yeah,
Vers-
right, right. So, right, the reversal. They always say buy on first Green Day, or buy on set, or buy after the first Green Day. Like people will buy on the first Green Day or short on the first Red Day.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been watching, and I've been doing a lot of studying going back, and I see that now. You see how it's a first Green Day, and after
Yeah.
everything after that keeps going.
Mm-hmm.
Is that weird? That's a strategy
Yeah.
I've been looking at.
See, I broke it down even more simpler than that. Every time it bounces, the
So
first
it
screen day
bounces off
after
the
the
moving average.
bounces off the moving average. Yeah, and you see, it's like clockwork here. Here, here, here.
Yeah, just put your
Um,
buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell right there.
so the first green after coming above the 50. So it's here, here, yeah. So man, I was hoping it to come down more, but today took me by surprise. Yeah, I don't. All of a sudden, at towards like the first half of the day, that everything was tinking, and then the second half of the day, everything just started climbing again. So if we look it down at the hourly, exactly what happened. The first half of the day, it was tinking like crazy, right? So right around that noon is when it started to climb up again, and that was how sharp it is. And so this goes back to
Can I? Right, and I love that. But can I say something? I
yeah.
just want you, and I understand how high huh?
Hmm.
But there's something that I'm trying to learn. Okay, and I
Hmm.
know you probably heard this before too. It's called trapping bulls and trapping bears.
Hmm.
I see now that I've been studying that. I see it. I see how they trap the bears there. See how the bears had to get out.
Hmm.
That's what I've been learning. I've been trying
Well,
to
I don't
figure
think
out
this
when.
right here is trapping bears. I think it's more trapping bulls. So because you see how
Right,
the
right, right. But see how the bears are getting out though. After they trapped them enough, after they
mm,
trapped the bulls from the top, right? Because they were trying to do a bull trap at the top. You see it? The very
yeah.
Yep. They're trying to do a bull trap. They trapped them, right? They
Hmm.
trapped them at the top, let it and then the shorts took it down. They didn't have enough ammo, right? So they
Hmm.
let it go back up, let the bulls come back in, and they short it again.
Yeah. So right
I
here,
see
this
that
is
pattern repeat over and over and over.
yeah. So this is the area to pay attention to when the 50 is crossing under the 200 on the hourly. I
Right.
mean, not this is definitely people got trapped here because if you were to short down here, you're stuck.
Yeah, you're stuck. You're getting out. That's why they spiked back up because they
Yeah.
recovered.
So this right
You know,
here
it's so
is something that
funny,
you have to
dude.
pay attention to.
I'm so glad I have somebody to talk to.
Yeah. So this right here is something to pay attention to. When the 50 is crossing under the 200, that means that
Yep.
the
Yep.
current momentum is dragging it down. So, you know, especially on the word, I would say this
But you
this
can see
green
there's a
pop up
channel.
today. Yeah,
It
this
already
green.
started the channel.
Mm-hmm.
You see the
This
channel? It already started.
yeah. So this green pop up today is actually I think it might have been a fake out.
Uh-huh.
Tomorrow we're gonna
Yep.
continue the downside.
Right, because look at the candle. Because you look at the
Hmm.
candles, right? Those are so how many hourly candles are those right there?
Right here, this is 4 hourly candles of it basically doing nothing.
Okay,
So
so look at the candles before that, those red ones. Look at that. One,
mhm,
two, three, four, five.
5.
So I've learned that if it goes like real hard like that, the
Mhm,
last candle, you see that last one and it spikes down, and the next candle it starts higher, that's the reversal.
mhm.
Yep, all the way down. No, no, the last point. Yeah, that one. No. the last red candles. Yeah, I was taught by that. That the last three red candles there, if they
Mm-hmm.
keep falling and falling and falling, find the last candle. When the last candle opens and closes, real green, buy it. Buy the next
Mm.
candle.
Yeah, like right here.
Yeah. So the first candle closes. See how the first green candle stays
Mm-hmm.
there? It didn't go. It didn't go underneath the one before. So they're saying that's a bullish U-turn
Mm-hmm.
to play the bounce. That's the. I guess is that what they call the dead cat bounce?
Yeah, the dead cat bounce is where everybody shorted it to hell, and then
Right.
all of a sudden a little, people are getting out, so it pushes because shorts to get out, they have to buy, and when they buy, they cause the market to go up, right? So this is caused by a flurry of selling, and this is caused by a flurry of people buying to get out of shorts, right?
Yep.
So it kind of so
It's such a
if you get
weird
stuck in it,
terminology though.
yeah,
Can I say that I think that I'm different? Like so you think about buying stocks to hold, right? And thinking
yeah.
about values of the company, right? But now
Mhm.
I'm just looking at these charts like, dude, nobody plays for the value of no company.
Well, there's two ways of thinking of that, right? If you say, if you're a short-term trader, you look at these patterns for these patterns, right? You're a longer-term trader, and where I play is when you're looking at the longer term of it, you want to build that confidence of if that stock is gonna hold for the long term.
Right.
Of course, SPY is because SPY is representative of 500 stocks, so no matter what, it has staying power in the market,
Yeah.
right? And so where I look at is it's a little bit different because I look at the different patterns and what they do with the moving averages and what relationship it coincides with, right? Like over time, I try to build this relationship of where the reversal could be because
Right.
just through past data and how
Yep.
high it's up currently versus the means. The 50 is the mean, right? And it always reverts to it. If we look back to the last 20 years, it reverts to it eventually. I'm just buying time and thinking the higher it goes up, eventually it's gonna snap back and
Yeah.
that's gonna hurt. So
There are a
it's
lot of people that get caught.
hmm yeah. So it really scares me that we're not coming back, and it's kind of strange though this year because we've been doing this kind of pattern where we're inching higher by a little bit, and every time we're falling, it seems to be like a harsher fall every time. We're itching forward and then a harsh fall, but we don't necessarily retrace any significant amount. Like
Right.
the last week and a half, right? The last week and a half, we've been inching forward, and every time we fall, it was by a significant amount, but we always cover that. So to me, I kind of looked at that as like a weakness, that we have more to fall. And today, definitely, kind of almost proves that because
But
the
can you see
last
the
4
candle though?
hours,
Do you
yeah, the
see the
last four
candle?
hours here, it didn't take out the last the, the fall from here already. From the start of Tuesday's pre-market.
Can you show me the MACD on that on the top one?
Let me see. Let me add in the MACD. I don't usually use the MACD because the MACD to me is more like a oscillator.
Right,
S-
right. But I like
Uh,
using it for reference.
yeah.
I just need to know where the stock's moving at.
Let's see.
I just need to know if it's in what territory it's at.
The
Yeah, they call it weird in every single one. Trust me.
yeah standard.
All right,
Yeah.
so
So
there's the
it's
MACD. So hold on, Kang. So go to Thursday.
Thursday.
Yep, go to
Okay.
Thursday right there. You see the top of Thursday. You see the top. Keep going right there at the top. You see the
Mm-hmm.
top of that very top? That's the top of your channel.
Mm-hmm.
And you see the very bottom of that green wick?
The
Yep,
very
yep,
bottom.
that's the top. Yep, that's your top. No, no,
Mm-hmm.
no. That red candle is your top. And
Mm-hmm.
that's your bottom. Yep, that's your top. And that's your bottom. And I draw a straight line from there to the bottom, 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 top, top. That's your downtrend.
From here.
Yep. Nope. All the way down. No, no, forget that. That's a fake out. That's a fake out. No, you're good. Just draw the line down more. Yep. Just create from where it's at to where it's at now. You understand? Yep. Yep. Perfect. And now draw that bottom wick to that bottom wick. The bottom green wick. No, your other. Yep, that's fine. Yeah, but make sure you go back to that other Thursday, that big bottom green wick. That's the bottom shade.
Oh,
channel.
this right here.
No, no, the green wick.
This
Yep, the
green wick.
last. Yep, that's your bottom.
Okay.
And do you know why I say that? Do you know why I call that the bottom?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know why though?
Yeah, because
look at the MACD. See the bottom of the MACD?
Mhm.
See it's at the very bottom? That's your bottom. And I see at the very bottom of the next channel MACD down there, because it went all the way down to bearish territory. So that's the channel. It's in a bearish territory right now. So like you're right. So right now we're at that point right there where we're going to break out of the channel. So now is it going to be a fake out like the top one, or is it going to continue down? You see it?
Yeah. How I use
And
the
you know
MACD is a little bit different because you see
how
how
you use the MACD differently?
yeah. So I use it as an oscillator. So the oscillator meaning that it tells you it kind of tells you
That's bearish
where
territory. That to
where
me is
to
bearish
really get
territory.
in, right? So you see how this right here, you see how it's starting to die. So
Yep.
this is prime shorting right here. So as it's starting to lose momentum, and if you think so, right? So you see you're comparing this right here, right? So you see how it dies off, then it has another green pop, and as
Right.
that gets weak, more weak over here, it should be telling you to start a short position. So when you
That's
see
a short position
it go green again here, look for
to
the
get out.
weakness, and then start your short again.
So what
So
do you think is going to happen with SPY in the next few days then? Well, from that, because I think we have, because you and I have two really good an analysts right now. Like we look at it from two different points of views. What do you think is going to happen?
I think it's gonna continue downward.
Because the
Just
yellow is the 200, right?
yeah. So you see
Okay.
this, we're below the 200, we're below the 50 on the hourly. So that's to me is a huge sign of weakness. It's
But if we play like Thomas Heiner,
mhm.
it's just a great snapback.
Yeah. So this right here, this is a snapback. When you see any sharp thing like this, right? It will snap back to the beams, right? These are what I use as our meme, our averages, right? And then when it snaps back to the meme, that's when it could, people enter in again. So
Right.
then
That's
the
what your
more
place of
people
value
rushing
is.
in, and
Right.
then
That's your
it
place of
continues.
value.
Yeah. So that's what I think is gonna happen. Is it's just gonna come back here and fall down. Unfortunately I drew this channel down here the other day, but I erased it. And so here is a support line.
Yep.
But
Yep.
before that,
It was there. Yep.
before that, it was here, right? So it was playing in
Yeah,
these
it's stepping really nice.
mhm. So if it breaks this, we're coming back in this range right here. And
Yep. And as soon as we hold that support, we buy it.
mhm. So anything that 400 range, I think it's kind of almost drawn to that 400, but it's slowly going up, and as you see how like we're not really pushing any headway, which sort of just sideways for the last like 2 weeks.
So where are we on the RSI then? On the 4 hour time frame?
Right here.
Yeah, can I see the RSI? I'm sorry.
Yep.
Okay, I use a
No.
lot of indicators. Not a
No, it's
lot, but I
okay.
use the ones that helps me.
Yeah.
So
We
I
all
use
trade differently. It's fine.
it, and the RSI. It's just so that because if we keep on it, I don't have a game plan. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. So this right here, right? So we're at
Right. That's a great trading range.
mm-hmm, bottom of the range, bottom of the range. Right? If
Yep,
we were
and
to
right there,
draw
that's a great trading
the
range
top,
right there.
right?
See, I think hedges love those trading ranges.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, that's a great trading. So the hedge funds know exactly what to do. They know where to stop, where to fall, like everybody else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So they'll play with you. People think that it might break here, but look at this. It's been weak here. This
Yep.
this resistance has been really weak. And it proven as a really weak support too. When we broke above it, we couldn't make it through, and that's the picture that I'm seeing from this. And when we go back and if we go back and test this right here, I'm pretty sure this is where a lot of shorters are gonna sit, and a lot of bears are gonna be sitting here, and then we're like,
Yep.
whoa, I'm gonna open a short position, and I wouldn't be
We're gonna push
surprised.
higher.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we come back and we test like 408, and if we break that 408, 408, 410 here, we go back to 400. Um,
Dude, I still remember us talking about reaching 400, man.
yeah, and I am well, everything that we've been just seeing, all the movement is just all sideways. And the thing is, visually tech makes up such a big portion of it, right? So we see Apple, something like Apple is already breaking down its 50 again.
Because everybody sold off during the earnings
Uh-huh.
play.
But you see this range. I drew this range a while ago because it was playing in this range, but it's still acting as support because it played in this range for a good month and a half, and then broke out of the range here. And I think this is the pullback. So if we continue to watch it, because why Apple is the thing to watch is because Apple comprises of if we look at SPY and how much uh how much Apple is almost 6%. So we look at stuff like Apple and Microsoft, and if those things are falling, they have a real impact on SPY. And you know, I'm seeing something like this today, and it looks like the fall in Apple didn't even impact it. The Apple was actually really red today. It's down
Yeah.
like almost 4%, and so something that's down 4% that comprises 5% of SPY. You know, I'm kind of thinking, what is going on in the background?
So if my theory is right, so we short the first red day.
Should we short the first red day? Uh, yeah, I would. For now, yeah, I don't feel comfortable at these high levels going long, especially we're at all hard time high. We haven't had a trace
Bro, I
back.
scanned everywhere, bro.
Yeah, we hadn't, and that saying is true. Sell in May, no way. So I'm thinking at least another month of it, just either sidewaysing or going down. Um, but make no mistake, we're still in a bull market. We're
Oh
still
my
in a bull
God, are we in a
market,
bull
but
market?
yeah, we're still in a
Just
bull
different
market,
sectors.
but yeah, it's just
Just-
different timing of it. It's just what is it? It's just it's just a different phase of it, right? We can't be climbing all the time. We can be consolidating and then we'll still be in the bull market, which that's still true. So yeah, we just gotta keep that in mind. Is we're still in the bull market long term, but short term we gotta have some. We have to give some back. You know, somebody's nobody's for no money to enter into the market. They're not going to enter
right.
at all time highs. They're going to enter when they see a dip that came, and that pushed that's the next hype train.
Right, the new fish.
Hmm. Right? So like stuff like Tesla right here, we could see it's struggling.
So I guess you read the book Trading in the Zone.
Yeah,
Good job.
I've pretty much read every trading book that Audible has to offer. Well, somebody read it to me. I don't
Right,
read.
right. I do the same thing, brother. Nope, nope.
Yeah,
Hey, I'm glad I found you as a friend.
yeah. So, Tesla
What book do
today.
you recommend? What book do you recommend?
For the It really
Trading.
depends. If you're a beginner trader, there's different. There's so many different there's so many different ways. But I say the most important one, that I found most useful is what is it? Trading psychology, or what is it called? Let me pull up the title. I have it on my. It's by Dr. Alexander. That book is or trading for a living, I think.
Yeah, trading for a living. I read that book too. Yep.
Yeah, Trading for a Living by Dr. Alexander Elder.
Yep. I love that
That
book.
book is probably the only one that it really captures your thinking, because if you really think of trading, it's you can add in all these technicals, but if no one's looking at them, it doesn't matter. And
Right.
what trading for a living, what that book teaches is that you have to kind of think of it backwards. Think of it as, hey, if I know how much I'm losing ahead of time, then and I'm comfortable with it, I can just let my winners go as far as they can, right? And just let it do whatever. So if I cover my worst case, everything else is covered, right? I can handle a fall, a break, a crash. Then I'll let it go as much as possible.
Right. As long as it
And
hits your stop loss, you're good.
yep.
You have a stop
And
loss. Yep.
so that book's really good. I recommend anybody to read it. Read a couple of times. You're gonna you have different stages in your development as a trader. You're gonna have your beginner your beginner stage, where you're just trying to dabble in it, and you're going off of the hype and going off of what other people say, right? Your intermediate level, where you're trying to learn as much as you can, the technicals, the fundamentals, everything. And then you're gonna get to your aha moment. And then you I want you to read that book again at that aha moment to
Yep.
see, right? And then after you have your aha moment, you get to a point where you're experienced enough to, this becomes, everything in here becomes second nature. Then read it again. You're like, whoa, that's really eye opening, because, why didn't I see this at the beginning of my trading career? And you sort of always, need to do that to go through all those different stages.
So you see how you went. You see how I understand the stages you said.
Yeah.
Okay. Tell that to the new trader. Do you think they know what we're talking about?
Eventually, I'm hoping they do, but at the moment, I'm sure we're talking gibberish to them. I was that way too when I began. Somebody would point to a chart and say, "Hey, look, this is a reversal. This is a support line. This is a resistance line," and you're just not gonna know. It takes a lot of time to develop the skills and the eyes to be able to see that on the charts. And you know, I'm hoping that what I hope that, by doing these Tuesdays and Thursday nightly sessions, is that, eventually, if they come to this enough, and they see how we're thinking through all of our trades and thinking through the different setups and what could happen, that they start developing the skills for themselves. And that was, because it was something that I wish I had when I was starting off as a trader. It's just
Same.
somebody that was there to say, "Hey, this is what I'm seeing on them," and then eventually you develop that skill too, by just like
Same.
induction.
Same.
Yeah,
It's
but
funny, Ken. It's funny how you and I struggle, and we have that urge to find a mentor and to be a student of the game.
mm-hmm,
Like you have that thirst. Yeah.
mm-hmm.
I I have that thirst, and it's so hard that it makes me angry that it's much of Moy that's smart enough.
I'm
Does
sure
that
we
make sense?
do. I'm sure we do, but as traders, we're really, uh a lot of us keep really quiet about it. Yeah, a lot of traders are lone wolves. We don't trade in a pack, and it's just only until recently that we created the groups to expose us to say, hey, this is what we're doing, and I want to find like-minded people because the more we find like-minded people, the faster we can grow and the faster we can learn. And instead of us going through the cycle of recreating the wheel, if somebody has already done that, we can just learn from them, right?
How do how do how do we teach? How do we get them to see that? Because I'll be honest with you, Kang, because kung Japan na,
Hmm.
and they call me and they always go, "Hey, Will, what's the next stock to buy?" That's it. That's all they call me for. They
Unfortunately,
always call.
that's the $1 million question. But to be completely honest with everybody, you could be the most experienced trader in the world, and you still wouldn't know. Everything's a
Right.
guess. Yeah.
That's what I tell them too. I was like, I don't know, bro. All my fucking are guesses, dude. My guess is just like everybody else's guesses.
Yeah, and unfortunately, we have to trade enough to where we get to that point where we know that we don't know. We know that we're stupid. Yeah.
Yeah, we know that we dumb and fudge, and all we know is we know where our stop loss is, and we know where our price target is, and that's it.
Yep. Yep. That's all we can control. We can control
You
how
know?
much we're gonna lose, and we're gonna control where we're gonna get out, and that's it. And sometimes it doesn't hit, but hey, that's part of the trade. So you only have three real outcomes. You're gonna lose a little bit, you're gonna win a little bit, or you're gonna win a lot.
Yeah.
And as you keep trading, you're gonna win a lot more than you're losing, and just keep falling forward
Okay, I have a really, really dumb idea. Okay,
like that.
I know
Shoot.
it's really, really dumb, and I haven't started my channel yet because I felt like I want to, but I felt like I started learning so much more,
Hmm.
and I started reading like I read like Trading in the Zone, and I'm just like, I kept writing other books,
Hmm.
and I was like, wait, maybe I'm not ready for this yet. Make sense?
Oh.
So I was like, I was thinking like, how Zong's really good, Jimmy's really good, John's super good,
Hmm.
you right, and Kevin, you guys are all great. But imagine if we all did like 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 you ever see like I'll go to other people's like even like the guy I used to learn from like P. I still go to his website. I go like Rosh. I still go to all these investment people, and I see now that when
Hmm.
people pump together, it works. Does that make sense?
Yeah. It if you have a big enough group, you make a big enough dent in the market. But then we walk into that gray area, of hey, is that considered a pump and down?
Right,
Um,
but that's what everybody's doing though. If you let me ask you, Ken, do you ever use a scanner? When I mean a scanner is, do you ever scan for your stock for the next day?
oh yeah, all the time.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. Everybody's scanning the same stocks.
Hmm.
So everybody's waiting for that self-fulfilling prophecy. I think if our group literally says every morning, everybody comes in and goes, hey, I like this pick, I like this pick, I like this pick. And then, dude, we just all watch it. Dude, I bet you it just blow up like all the other fucking tracks, all the other fucking places. Because to be honest, with you, that's all everybody wants.
Yeah.
Does that make
Uh,
sense? Everybody just wants the picks. Get it?
I
So
think
we
for the most
all
part, that's what we do when we go through our Discord channel. We say, hey, who's looking into getting into this one, and then we're throwing our plays out, and then people follow along, right? And exactly like you said, the scanners that we use, it's just scanning for that activity, right?
right.
The activity in the market that people are interested in it, that it's keeping form with it. So in the in a way, it's kind of, as long as we don't have it writing that people are saying, hey, yeah, we're gonna buy this, or even, I don't know, it's even crazier because we have stuff like Wall Street Bets now, and that's why Wall Street Bet is so successful. People who follow Wall Street Bet currently
Yo, you know
is
me, I'm the
because
biggest degenerate.
yeah, people hype it up, and speaking of hyping up, this I just learned. This one is one of the ones that they were hyping up. Skills,
Yep,
SKLZ.
yep.
Yeah, and I without even knowing that they were gonna hype it up, I stumbled across it and I just got into it and it just went crazy. But you know,
The power. That's why I don't think that the stock market's going to go down anytime soon.
no, no, it's not gonna go down anytime soon. It's been around for 200 years.
Right. No, no.
So
What I'm saying the stock market, like I don't think we're going to go down like any further down because I think that with Wall Street bets, with all these people, everybody knows this is
mhm,
gambling now.
yeah.
People's figure it out. Remember, there wasn't gambling for over a year, bro. Now that everybody knows how to gamble in the stock market, do you really think they're going to stop?
Oh, of course not. Once you
I
get the
know I'm
taste
never
of
going to
it, right? You get the taste of
bro,
it, you're
I'm
never
never going
going
to
back.
stop. I'm never going to stop. My life has changed from the stock market. Literally. There's no way in the hell I would ever quit the stock market.
Yeah, of course, and that's one of our leverage as average people. The stock market is one of our tools that we have to make it to the other side of that wealth gap.
Yo, you said it
We
right there.
don't.
Say it one more time.
The stock market is a tool that
Our tool.
mhm, that we could
Thank
use to
you.
help get us to the other side of the web gap.
Yep.
And this, for us, unfortunately, we're in that middle class, or where we don't have that many tools. We have real estate, which could get expensive and has a lot of details that you have to study up, and then we have the stock market. That's basically it, right?
Yep.
Other than working your 9 to 5, baby, you're working your 9 to 5. You're never gonna make it. You're just gonna make ends meet. That's it.
Right. And our parents wasn't like Mika where they save us a boatload of money for after they die. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're not gonna come from old money.
hmm So we just have to learn these things and keep going with it. A
I
lot of
like
it
that
is
stuff.
a lot of for this, especially if you're a new player, I wouldn't jump right into day trading just yet. Like I would look into more stable stock and then get into it because at the very beginning you're learning everything. You're not gonna know what to really use, but you need to know that hey, over time, this is a good company that will make it out regardless. So stick with those, and then start noticing these patterns. If you stay with something long enough, you're gonna get good with it. Even if you just do what I do, just have 2 lines on the charts, you're gonna
That's
get
all
good
that
at playing it.
matters.
Yeah, you're gonna get good at playing that, and you're gonna notice the patterns, and eventually you're gonna learn how to play it. And it's just how it is.
Yep,
There's
that's
nothing
your
that
edge. You
beats.
can't go ever lose it. That's your
Yeah,
edge.
there's nothing that beats time in the market. It's what I'm doing right now is just instead of trying to time the market, just trying to stay in the market for as long as possible. And
And the number one game is staying in it.
yeah, just staying in it because think of it like a casino. You can't win any more money if you're out of money. You just
Thank
have to
you.
stay. You just
How
have to
smart,
stay
man.
positive, and just have enough money to play again, right?
No, bro, I'm telling you, hey, I know I've said this again, but do you feel like we are in the spot where we should start our fortunes?
I mean,
You
yeah,
know,
where if we think about it, right? Last year was the start of a new bull market, right?
right,
This year we're not going to see that much gains, but think of it like this: the average return is 10 years. At the start of the new market, a new bull market is when we see the biggest increase. The
right.
second year is the second greatest, right? And it keeps doing that. It tapers off after like 5, 6 years. It goes back to like the 10% gain. But this year, as we're seeing these like dips and everything, keep an eye on them because when these dips are done and finalized, that's where you're gonna make the most money again, right? So that's what we're trying to do right now is we're just trying to identify good stocks that we want to play and notice that they're dipping, and eventually we're gonna buy into it, or we're gonna slowly buy into it a good position, and then as it goes up, goes to the new moon, goes to Jupiter, we're going to be on there already.
Yep.
Yeah. And you see this with every stock, they don't have all their moves in one sitting, they have waves, that so they'll have a hype train that comes in, then it hits the station, it has a moment where everybody's loading up into the next hype train before that train takes off, right? Yeah. So if we're using that analogy of a train,
Right.
right?
No,
It's
because no,
just
I love that. No, because I'm glad that you got Harigar because I see your analogy of trading,
hmm
right? I see where you're trading, and I always and I see how the last guy I learned from how he traded, like he
hmm
wouldn't trade in the range. See this range, he would never touch it.
yeah.
See, he would never touch any of that. As dumb as that sounds, because he says it's in a range. Why am I going to trade something in a range? I want to
hmm
trade something that breaks out and going to give me the max amount of money, and then I'm out.
Yeah.
So again, but this is your strategy, and it works. See, it makes you money because you believe it and you stick with it.
Yeah. There is no wrong way. The only
There's
wrong
no
way
wrong.
is if you're giving your money away.
Yep. But you
So,
have to see, other people's play like this, so you'll
hmm
understand what's also going on.
yep. Yeah. So,
Thank you for sharing your strategy, though.
yeah, it's a simple one, everybody, if you stick long enough with it, you eventually notice there's not that many strategies out there. There's neither you're neither following a trend or you're playing in a range. That's it. It all the
Yep.
technicals, they just tell you which one you're doing. Like the MACD and everything, they'll tell you
Yep.
when there's a range. And with the moving averages, they're more for like when something's really trending, and that's it. There's nothing to it. The market is very simple. It's a simple beast. We just overcomplicate it because we try to do too many things.
Impatient.
hmm like if we were just thinking back, just like T-Mobile here, if we were patient and we just have something as simple as just like the 50 moving average, right? If we just go base off that, and we buy the first candle that finishes above it, right? And buy after that, right? So the first candle then finishes off of it, this one, and then the next one, we buy off of that. Look how we would have done, right?
Yep.
Versus, there might have been times where we get stopped out right here, but just know that and learn that this strategy doesn't
Yeah, you
work
can
well.
re-enter. Yep, get out and you can
Mhm.
re-enter anytime.
Yeah. This strategy is more for like the breakouts, right? The huge
Yep.
breakout. And when it breaks out, it makes up for all that loss that you incurred trying to find it.
But the hardest part is try to let your winners run.
Yeah. You eventually have to, even I struggle because, a lot of times when I first began, I would get it in like down here, and then it would go into this consolidation period. I get fed up, and eventually I just sell off. I just so okay, I'm gonna take my loss just to see that hey, right when I take my loss, right after that it just goes this. I missed out on that, so I'm
Right.
working. I'm working on that.
Same here,
and
brother. Hey,
yeah,
we're in the same boat still.
it's just us noticing that and learning from our mistakes. The hardest thing about being a trader is just really being crucial on yourself. Just knowing, hey, this is the mistake I made, and this is how I'm gonna prevent myself from falling in that same trap again. You just fall forward every
Hey, fuck it, dude. Let's
time.
next week, bro. Let's do it. All right, next week I'm gonna call you and we're just gonna have this conversation.
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
All right? I'm gonna
We
call
can.
you next week. I'm gonna start it. We're gonna start this conversation. And how long have you been trading?
8 years now.
Okay, so I'm gonna tell you something. I've only been, you know how long I started, right? I started
Yep.
in like August, right?
hmm
August. I bought my first stock like in July, so August, September. So here's the problem. Do you think I know what I'm talking about right now? Do you understand that? The question is, what I'm trying to say is, does it seem like I understand what it is you're talking
Yeah, yeah, I think you do.
about, right? Because how many new traders do we know right now knows anything about a moving average, the MACDs, the short interest, right?
Hmm.
Bulls and bears, where the traps are, where it's a double top, double bottom, triple top, triple bottom, right?
Hmm.
Like I think we just had that conversation right off the bat and record it and show it to everybody. I think they're gonna know where they stand
Yeah.
of where if they want to be in this field that they need to understand all that stuff. Make sense?
Hmm.
Would that be a good? I think that'd be a good opening one, right?
Yeah, it'd be a great opening. I I don't know. I'm trying to get through this, this session here. I'm trying to get people to start thinking like a real trader, start thinking of
Right.
the market. It's hard sometimes because, everybody, we don't know what their social standing is, what their what their family situation is like, working situation. And man, I mean, if you keep doing the same thing, you're gonna get the same results. But that's why I'm trying to encourage people to make a difference. You know, even
Thank
if
you.
it even if they just dabble in the stock market. I started from humble beginnings. To be completely honest, I started with $1,000, and I grew that over the course of the last 3 years to over $100,000.
Fucking
And
awesome, Kang.
so you can definitely start from zero, and well, not zero, but you can start from a low amount. And if you are really dedicated to it and really take the time to understand it, just like right? It At the beginning, if you don't have money, you at least have time, have a little bit of time, right? It doesn't take a lot to do it. An hour a day of just you reading some books, watching some YouTube videos, watching some a guy like us, right? Talk about it. Eventually, you're gonna get it, right? You want to immerse yourself in the world.
Oh yeah. Surround yourself with who you want to be.
Mm-hmm. 'Cause, if you build your community around you, there's no reason why you wouldn't succeed because you're going to be the average of the five people that you surround yourself with, right? You surround
Smart
yourself
man.
with you surround yourself
I
with
love you guys.
traders. Eventually, you're going to become a trader. You know, so
Love you,
so
thank you. I'm hanging out with you and Zong because I want to be a millionaire.
hey, when we first started among investor community, it was just the five of us. The five of us that would talk together and say, "Hey, this is what I think is happening," or just kind of like what you and me are doing like right now. We look at charts and say, "Hey, this is where I think I'm going to get in to this trade," even if we don't take it. This is, just theoretically in your mind, you go, "Hey, this is where I would get in," and you just track it over amount of time. You don't have to have money to be a trader. You just have to have the insight and to just follow it, right? Eventually, if it pans out a few times and you say, "Hey, it goes according to plan. Let me put some money into this and see how it does." You built the confidence already, right? So you just keep going with that, and then it yeah, you don't win all trades, but you win enough to keep you going. You win enough to snowball forward. And
Snowball forward.
mhm. And once you get that snowball big enough, right, it takes on a life of its own. Like you don't even have to pay attention too much to it anymore, and it keeps growing. You just keep going with it, and eventually, it gets to the point where we're gonna be like the rich white folks, where they're making bank, and all they have to do is just check their statement every month, right?
Right?
But to get to
Love,
that point,
love it.
it takes work, kind of like Warren Buffett when he was building his fortune. He's first generation wealth too. So, he to build his stuff, it took close to 40 years for him to make his first million.
Right. But also remember Warren Buffett, he read all the financial books in his
Yeah.
library by the age of 15.
Yeah, he read that. He got in touch with like the best trader at the time,
Yup.
Benjamin Graham, and he went to schools with people. He got in touch with a lot of, he built his community up. So if you do that, there's no way you can fail. You build up all your support pillars and everything. So there you go.
We got, all right. I gotta, because what I'm trying to do is see you're living proof. That's what I need. That's what I'm trying to find. Couple ball.
Hmm.
You are living proof that you said it, that you took $1,000 to 100. Zong is living proof that he can day trade for a living, literally, right?
Hmm.
Jimmy's proof, right?
Yeah.
I don't know about Kevin. I don't know about John. Like they don't say much about where they stand. But again, Kevin's very young. John is also very young, also.
Hmm. Like we
But I
we
want
all have our own goals, but they're
right,
really good at meeting their own goals. John's
right. And
doing
that's what
really
I want.
good.
That's the whole.
Zong's doing
That's
really
the
good.
whole
You're doing
interview.
really good, and so
Like
at the
for
end of the
somebody's
year.
goal is to make $10,000 this week, right?
Uh-huh.
My goal is to make $200 so I can take my kids out on the weekend and have dinner. That's it.
Yeah. Yep.
You have any
Yep.
goal you want.
Just have your goal and set it, and that's just go with it, right? Just know what you're working for, because if you are a trader without a goal, you don't have a target to meet, right? You don't have this point out on the horizon that you're trying to get to. You're gonna be wandering aimlessly, right? So they often say that the fastest point from point A to point B is a straight line, right? But
Yep.
if you don't have a point B to get to, you're gonna wander aimlessly. You're gonna, just walk back and forth and just say. That's why, a big part of trading is both setting a stop and also setting a price target, right? That you're reaching somewhere in the future out here, that you're gonna look to get to it, and you're gonna say, hey, how likely is that stock or to get to that my target? If it's very likely, let me take that trade. If not, then I might hold it back and monitor for some other one that's better. You're always judging that.
Yep.
And so, again, every trader, every trader, we have their goal, and we have our own differences in how we trade, and because all of our situation is different. But what binds us is that we want to use trading as a way to leverage our money, make our money work for us. Right?
Money's just a tool.
It's just a toy, and especially in this day and age where there's not even a tangible money anymore. I
It's
mean,
not.
do you carry dollar bills in your pocket? I mean, to
Thank
me, it's just
you.
numbers, right? So think about it, and we're working so hard for it. Why not have it work hard for us?
Bro, why work for it? We should just make it appear.
Yeah, you could just, and with trading,
It's a
it's a
video game.
way.
It's a
Yep, it's
video
a way
game.
to make it appear to us, and you know, it, trading might be hard at the beginning, but if you just know the patterns and see it, you spend if you spend if you spend the next year trying to learn how to trade, right? And it makes you an extra $200 a month. Isn't that worth it already? $200 a month, in over a year, that's $2,000, right? That's $2,000 and nobody's gonna give you.
Yep.
And and
How about
that's
this
only
one?
for beginning, right?
Yep.
Right?
How about this one then, Kang? How about this one? I always thought about this because I was thinking about going back to school, man.
Hmm.
I was like, if I go back to school, it's another 4 years for me to get what I want, right?
Hmm.
But that means I got to come back out and go restart my career. I don't want that. If I want to spend 4 years, I want to spend my 4 years doing something that I can create my financial freedom. So I'd rather spend the next 4 years. If I lose, let's just say, this is what I told my wife, okay?
Hmm.
If I lose $50,000, it's okay. That was my tuition. Does that make sense too?
Hmm. For
So I
sure,
think
I've lost more than
that's how
fifty
I look
thousand
at it.
dollars already
Right.
to the market to learn it. So,
Oh
uh,
my God, dude. You do not understand, man. When I was a bear, when you guys were all fucking bulls on spy, you don't know how much I lost in puts.
so let's see. Somebody asked about Mur, Mur. It's oil. Oil. Uh,
MUR.
I'm not sure. So whoever asked about Mur, I don't see your name, but what's your time frame of holding? Is this something you're interested in holding for a few weeks, a few months, or just a quick trade? You know, being a few days. Um, I mean, it really all depends. You know, my thoughts on it. If you're planning on holding it for a few like a few months, thinking that it's a good investment, I probably stay away from that because Myrrh is oil, I believe. Oil's been taking a huge hit, even if it
Hey,
short term.
hey, look at the weekly. Look at the weekly. You see
Yeah,
the
this
weekly?
weekly.
You see the pattern repeat right there. This is
Yeah,
it's just you see
right
the
here.
top pattern's a little smaller, a little bigger, a little smaller. So you
Hmm.
can see that that pattern's going to drop.
Yeah. So this right here with the weekly isn't looking good because it's going down. But if you I so you see this right here, this 20 high right here. I think that would have been a swing high, but that's for it to go lower. Not so much that it's gonna go up higher.
It
Um,
got rejected.
yeah. So I think it might,
Look,
if you're lucky, it might retest this 20 and it might break a little bit above it, but not by much. Because you're looking at this weekly and where that 20 core size, that 20 is right here. That's the 200 moving average on the weekly. And you see the pattern from before. Every time it comes back to this 200, it gets rejected. It gets rejected hard. So I would beware if you're looking at that high again. And as soon as you get that high or a little bit above that high, don't hope for
don't be
much
greedy.
more. Yeah,
Right.
just
Don't be
take it.
greedy.
I think if anything, you might be better off on the short side, where
Well, or have a super tight stop loss.
yeah, a tight stop loss. So uh,
I see his play though. He's playing the second day. He's playing the second week
yeah, he's
green
playing right
candle.
here,
I get it.
and if he
And
thinks,
it's starting the next green candle, which has been,
hmm
if you look on the daily, has been indecision, indecision,
yeah.
indecision. So
So
I see
this,
his play.
if you are playing on the daily, have a stop somewhere in like the 16s, like
Uh,
$16 is where you probably want to draw the line. If it goes below that, I wouldn't give it too much hope, but play that 16 and
1635. Use 1639 as your stop loss.
yeah. So if you have a stop
That's
like down
one, two,
here,
three. That's 4 days. That's 4 days ago. 4 days ago, low.
so let me draw this out for you.
Yeah, draw it out for him because you don't
So
want to be kicked out by a fake out. So
mhm.
use that other day's low as your stop loss. 1638, 1639.
So your stop will be somewhere down here, right? This is a stop where you get out because that trade is no longer good. And you're playing for this up here, this whole section.
Right. It's a
And
good
that's
cup
it.
and handle if it works.
Yeah. Because this right here is resistance right now. And where that coincides, right? That's already, the 200 weekly average is already at 2130. So 2130 is about the height that you might see it. You might see a lot of resistance as soon as it touches 2130. You might see a huge rejection. It'll just probably like get knocked back down, like this right here, right?
Yeah,
Touches
if
it
you watch
once
it
and then
on
just
level two,
boop. Yeah.
watch it on level two if the seller step in.
hmm So be
Does that
careful.
make sense, Ken?
Yep. I don't
Yeah,
know
just be
if.
careful. Just be careful when you get to that level, because when you start getting to that level, the sellers will step in. You'll see on level twos when they start filling the walls,
Mhm.
and that's when you know you need to get out.
Yeah. So once it gets there, dive down into like the 1 hour and start noticing, hey, this is what it's happening. It's trending down or whatnot. Right. So you wanna zoom in, you want to pinpoint it.
That's a good cup and handle. I like that.
It's right here. So you wanna. So that's what I think is gonna happen. So be careful. It's a stock that's been going down. Let's see.
I can see the play. I really do.
Yeah.
I see it. I really see the play. 'Cause from 421, it ran $4.
Yeah. If only this was the heyday of oil, and we can catch it.
Right?
Unfortunately, I think that those days are long gone. Like, wait, if we look at the monthly, right, we can look back in the early 2000s, and you could just buy it and forget about it and just make like become a millionaire off of oil.
Oh my God. I remember back in the days when some home people was buying oil.
Yeah, it's just to buy oil. I mean, unfortunately, oil's just never recovered, and it's just been taking a beating. And I would play more on the downside, especially this EV move to EV and everything. It's really killing oil. Oil's not going to go away anytime soon, but the uses of oil, we're probably going to start going down. Less usage of it and more inventory of it, less usage of it. So it's going to cause oil to come down. It's a really ugly game how they play it, because oil is very dependent on. Because I used to play oil. It's very dependent on those inventory numbers. Like Saudi Arabia would jack up those inventory numbers, which increase the supply, and then it causes any oil stock to come down. And so you have to be very crucial of that piece of information. And so you have to keep in mind of the what is it, the number of barrels per day that's being used, and number of barrels per week that's coming in, the inflow of it. But all right, looks like we're closing in on the hour. But thank you, Will, for coming in tonight. It was nice having a conversation with you, and hopefully more people join us, have conversations with us. Ask us about stocks and stuff, and patterns, and what we see in it. And we're doing this to help everybody grow. So
Yo, bro, next week I'll call you for sure. Let me
yeah,
not probably not. I just let me get my starting videos out, and then I'll call you
yeah,
like
for
we talked
sure.
about. I know what it is, but it feels like every time we read something, I just something new jogs in. That's all. But I know I just need to do it. That's just the problem. So I just got to do it. All right.
Yep, yeah, yeah.
All right.
It's
Awesome,
definitely just a start. Yeah.
dude, bro. Thank you, man. I needed this conversation tonight with you to remind me what it's all about.
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes that's what we exist for. We're the community of support that we help each other reach, because you're not gonna have that same hype all the time, right? But we need to remind each other, hey, this is what we're working towards, and this is we have the support of one another. That's it.
Yeah, I think we got this.
Yeah,
Awesome, Kay. Thank you for the lesson tonight.
yeah. All right. With that, I'll just end it here.
All right, homie.
Yeah. Have a good one, everybody.
You too,
Good
brother.
night.